What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and CreateSpace. A link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal link there also. They asked me to put it up, so I'll put it up. Thanks everybody for supporting. But this video is entitled Balance is Becoming a Culture Shock. And what I mean by that is, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And in American society, we like to try to make a balancing act by having one person having an overwhelming amount of stuff and another person not. So all of the stuff is here, and the scales are always unbalanced, right? But in the same way. Here's a problem with that. When you get accustomed to a scale being unbalanced, balance itself becomes the culture shock. What do I mean by this? So you want all the gold. So the scale is, I got all the gold. All the gold is here. Bam, the scale's on the ground. And everybody here has nothing. But here's the problem. You don't have anybody to sell the gold to. So the gold becomes worthless because there is no balance. So now you got to sell some of the gold for something. Barter. And you're going to lose, to balance things out. And the problem is it's a culture shock to say, somebody might have just as much gold as me. Oh, no. Okay. And the other thing is, when we look at power, people want power, so they say they want power. Some people say they want power, not all. But some of the people want power to be unilateral and omnipotent in a sense. And here's the problem. If you don't know how to wield power and you want absolute power, that's an unbalanced power. So you want to be the king. Okay. They say heavy is the head that wears the crown. Here's the problem with that. If you want to be a dictator, just because you want people to do what you say, or in that spirit of I want people to do what I say because I got all the power, and because I got all the power, I make the rules. Here's the problem with that. You're the king. But that also means you're outnumbered. So if you don't understand balance, you can be beheaded. Everybody knows who you are, where you live. That's all it takes. And some of us want to be king and sit on a throne and forget. You better have a balance. If you want this power, you better have a happy kingdom, a peaceful kingdom, a prosperous kingdom, where a bunch of people in the kingdom are doing good, because that says the king is doing his job. That's balance. But see, when it's unbalanced, you're in one of those let them eat cake situations. You see how that ended. Now, this spills into a whole other thing. In this country, capitalistic, American, the national debt is a sign of incompetence. But as far as other nations go, they look at only one group as owing that money. The group who had the most power, who has the most money, who, created the government, right? So China's looking at the group who made sure that the power was imbalanced. So I want my money from you. Not everybody else. You. You know why? Because you came to borrow this money. You know why? You asked for this money. You know why? I didn't see all these other people in the room. You and your people owe me. So what happens? You know, this country owing somebody money means you're not the most powerful. And then you take that same ideology to Europe and the UK, then it means a quote-unquote rich and powerful group keeps owing everybody money, so they're fiscally incompetent. So they're not as powerful as they seem. And when you're fiscally incompetent, you say you can go to war with everybody. You can't afford bullets, but oh so long. They're just gonna cut off, you know, your supply. Yeah, you ain't got no money. Be done. You're on your own. So here's the thing. The balance is what has this country on pins and needles to a degree, because this country can't keep operating the way it's been operating. And now other people might have to be successful too. Oh my God. Because you can't hold down a bunch of people when you owe a bunch of people. You don't have the income to keep that up as for as long as you once did. Same thing goes into if people remember about the Great Depression, people were jumping out of windows because this was their first. They had to be broke and be like everybody else. They, you know, balance. The idea of balance was a culture shock. They'd rather die. Here's the issue with that. That goes the same for knowledge. If you hoard all the knowledge and you never share it, then there's no balance. And it's the thing about hoarding anything. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So if you are known to skew the whole scale in your favor, right? Well, what is the equal and opposite reaction to that? The very person who skewed it in their favor? That's what's going to happen. I was thinking about this when I saw the Asian guy on the Breakfast Club talking about by 2053, the black family will have no wealth. And I thought about this, and I'm like, that could be true by your projections. But you never took into consideration for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And what do I mean by that? Technology and racism don't really work well together because of the idea about anonymity. And technology, for the most part, cuts jobs. So all these people who think these groups are going to have so much money, they don't. You're going to have to hire people on a base level. You know, food, shelter, you know, hand-to-hand, mano-a-mano type transactions. Everything with a digital world, you're still going to need manpower. Who is the most skilled labor force in America? Black men. And all this going into the technological age, you can build with machines. Not a problem. We build with machines now. But at some point, you're going to run out of builders. People who can build or know what building is about. And then what? You know, because when you overdo it and you let technology take over, you also lose ingenuity. And people don't have the skill set to create. Thus, imbalance. And having to actually learn how to do things on your own again and do things for yourself becomes a culture shock. This is why I say, you know, balance is becoming a culture shock. Because so many people are used to getting over and getting their way, even in society. You know, people are accustomed to acting however way they want to, and then, you know, not facing consequences. And then when you face consequences to balance what happens, it's a culture shock. That lets me know how far off we've gone. But I'm done with this one. Like, share, and subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Peace.